Everyone on this rainy, kind of significant weather kind of day. I know people are going to be trickling in here. And so I'll just proceed with a little talk about a story of farm to pizza that's happening right here in Maine, utilizing grain grown in our very own state. It's exciting for me to be back at an ag trade show because in my prior life, I had a business in sheep and wool, and I'm making some connections that my historic booth neighbors at sheep and wool festivals from Bartlett Yarns are still my booth neighbor, even though I have a business in pizza dough now. So that is super awesome, and I feel right at home here. My name is Heather Kerner, and I am founder of the Good Crust, which is an artisan dough company located in Canaan, Maine. And we have a mission to do two things with our company. We're a relatively new company that's only 3 years old, but we are aiming to, number one, only utilize 100% Maine-sourced grain straight from the grist mill in Skowhegan for our products. And number two, we aim to utilize the manufacturing operation as a platform for workforce development for people who may have special needs. Full disclosure, I am an occupational therapist by trade of about 27 years, and I have a history in special education. And one of the origins of the Good Crust is that I was utilizing the byproducts from Maine Grains, our other booth neighbor over here in the Maine marketplace, in order to run a functional life skills program for kids to learn how to cook their own things in the kitchen and learn some manual skills around kneading pizza dough, making fresh pasta. We made sourdough English muffins. And so out of that work, an idea was born that, geez, there is an awful lot of pizza and pizza fundraising that goes on in our area, utilizing local grains. And we really needed someone to tackle pizza dough on a larger scale. Full disclosure, I am identical twin to the founder of Maine Grains. So if I look familiar but I don't recognize you, that might be why. And that is very much part of the origin story of the Good Crust as well. One of the ways that I became connected to the grain economy that was seeing a resurgence in central Maine was through the Maine Grain Alliance, who is also represented here at the Ag Trade Show to my right. Richard Roberts over here and Patty Dowse are representing the Maine Grain Alliance. That is an organization that is a nonprofit organization dedicated to supporting and providing technical assistance to farmers and value-added food processors and seed folks who might want to devote themselves to grain here in Maine. And I had been a volunteer at the very first kneading conference 17 years ago and was staying connected to that movement happening in my area. Maine Grain Alliance is really tackling some of the key issues of our time with regard to restoring the vitality of the grain economy for human consumption here in Maine. We got away from growing grain for human consumption as opposed to animal feed when dairy farming became a little bit more profitable. And Maine, quite frankly, sort of lost the infrastructure to be able to do that. And so the work of MGA is super important to us being able to access high-quality wheat, oats, barley, and other grains here in Maine. They are a huge supporter of the Good Crust and actually provided us with one of our very first technical assistance grants to buy the first dough divider rounder machine that we needed to get off the ground. Now in its 17th year, the Maine Grain Alliance manages the annual kneading conference, if anyone has ever been to Skowhegan, to participate in a deep technical exploration of all things grain, everything from growing and harvesting grain to building your own wood-fired pizza ovens to learning how to bake croissants with whole grain. It is a fantastic event that happens every July in Skowhegan. You'll definitely see the Good Crust and Maine Grains participating, and it's a celebration. Definitely visit the MGA booth if you have questions about growing or harvesting grain or connecting to people in that space. So this is just a picture to make a connection that very much so the Good Crust and Maine Grains are sort of literally and figuratively sister businesses. This is my twin, Amber Lamke, who is the founder of Maine Grains. And that is a picture of the mill where we source 100% of our ingredients for the Good Crust. They provide organic flour, oats, wheat, oats, rye, spelt, corn, buckwheat, barley, and heritage grains. Definitely come visit them if you're looking to take some home. But a little bit more about the story of the Good Crust. Of all things, we launched during the pandemic. I was scheduled to attend a night class in an accelerator program for women entrepreneurs who had a business idea and wanted to take it to market. And of all things, my teammate Nick, who maybe you've met here in the back in our booth, was one of the instructors of that course through Coastal Enterprises. And with that, launched a series of kind of milestones that helped us get right off the ground. Maine is an incredible place to access accelerator programs if you have a business idea. I've been in various programs from that one to Top Gun to Dirigo Labs for about 3 years, and it has made a huge difference in the speed of the trajectory of our business. One of the things we love to talk about with regard to the product we are able to produce is that we are, again, using local whole grains. We're using a traditional sourdough methodology, not 100% sourdough for the leavening, but we are committed to using sourdough for the flavor profile that we get, like a long fermentation flavor profile. And the dough that we produce is versatile. It can be used for award-winning bialys, which we pump out at the Common Ground Fair now. For the last 2 years, we have done that and won awards each year. We can, of course, use it for an artisan-style pizza. But it also works great for, we manufacture smaller rounds that can be used in school food service applications for like a fruit or breakfast roll, like a bacon, egg, and cheese breakfast bomb, or a rustic fougasse that you could serve alongside a salad. I'd like to take you into the kitchen of the Good Crust a little bit if you'd like. This is a short video that was filmed right as soon as we entered our manufacturing facility to highlight the social mission of our workforce development program.
One of the biggest surprises about starting the Good Crust has been the absolutely consistent feedback from our customers that ours is the best pizza they've ever eaten. The Good Crust is an artisan dough made with 100% Maine grains that we are making commercially available for pizza dough. It's a versatile dough that can be used for many other artisan breads. We believe there's wisdom in sourcing our manufacturing here in Canaan in order to be close to the grist mill where we source all of our ingredients. As a founder of the Good Crust, I am perhaps most proud of being on a growth trajectory at the same time that my teammates are. And at the same time, I am really proud that we are making healthy food by happy people.
It's just kind of a blessing that we're here and we're like a second family to all of each other.
I have been practicing occupational therapy for the last 25 years. That skill set lends itself ideally to the mission of the Good Crust. I set out to use the Good Crust as a platform for workforce development. We are inviting and accepting people with unique needs on our workforce. Individuals who might have cerebral palsy, autism, brain injury, and addiction recovery. And in order to ensure their success on the workforce, we provide significant accommodations in order to allow our team to be successful.
The Good Crust, for me, it's done a lot. Like, providing me a job,
help me with my strength and my mobile skills. And I used to have a really bad stutter that never comes out anymore. I don't want to get emotional, but really this job just gave me a chance to work and get money while I'm going through all of this, and I couldn't be more thankful for what it's done for me, really. So, yeah. Thank you.
I don't know how the volume was there, but maybe I'll linger here for a second and just talk about how we are implementing the workforce development arm of what we're doing at the Good Crust. What we are able to do is partner with area agencies like Goodwill Northern New England or Skills Inc. or high school programs like JMG for folks that might be looking for a customized or a tailored workforce experience for someone who might have a special need. Right out of the gate, some of our first apprentices might have had autism or cerebral palsy or a brain injury, and we're not able to access a traditional entry point for a career. So with our background in occupational therapy, one of the things that we do as a for-profit company is we invest in an additional occupational therapist to be embedded on the manufacturing floor who serves as a job coach for people who might need special accommodations or special teaching methods. And then we customize workforce experiences by physical positioning on the job, the type of job they might require, the duration or length of their work experience. And so to date, we have accepted, I want to say, about 8 apprentices and hired all of them. Because at a certain point, once a training period is over, if there is a critical independent skill that they can do, ultimately we have dough to make at the end of the day. So it's a win-win for everybody. I am going to talk just a second about the natural connections that happen when you are forming relationships in your sphere. And early on in some of our first customers of the Good Crust were revealing themselves to be wood-fired pizza programs and breweries. And so they were some of our first high-volume customers that were asking us questions like, well, am I going to call this New York-style pizza, or do I call this Detroit-style? Like, how am I supposed to talk about this pizza to our customers? And I was not able to accept those adjectives. I said, you know what? We are making a really deliberate decision to utilize local ingredients for our product. We're not going to define it by another region's pizza style. So several collaborators got together from Maine Grains, Maine Wood Heat, MGA, Crooked Face Creamery, and the Good Crust, as well as Flight Deck Brewing Company in Brunswick, because they were really modeling a successful program that was utilizing local grains in their pizza. And we founded a concept called Maine Craft Pizza, where we will define that by a commitment to utilize local grains in the crust, a commitment to try to source your toppings both in season and grown close by here in Maine, being baked or cooked in a oven that has a sustainable fuel source like a wood oven, and of course served with a Maine craft beer. So we itemized some sort of like criteria that people could self-select to describe their pizza programs as. And now you can visit on the Maine Grain Alliance website a special area of the website called Maine Craft Pizza. And if you're looking for where to go eat a Maine Craft Pizza, you can find your way to a map that will tell you where. Or if you want to start a pizza program of your own, you can also find your way to area producers that might provide ingredients for your pizza program. All of this has happened really in a short year. I'm looking at Patty. How long have we had Maine Craft Pizza? Maybe a year, a little over a year. Here are our criteria, and these marketing assets in the form of a Maine Craft Pizza logo and the STAR criteria are free for anyone to use as you start your own pizza programs. A really cool tidbit on this note is that we are preparing to try to gather a contingent from Maine, from the Maine Craft Pizza Initiative, to attend the International Pizza Expo in Las Vegas in March for the very first time. And I have really exciting news that we even have the attention in the last day of the PMQ Magazine Quarterly, which is a weekly national magazine that highlights pizza trends. And they are paying attention to what we're doing here in Central Maine and want to write an article about it. One of the customer segments that we have realized the biggest growth in the last year, and it's really thanks to collaboration with my teammate Nick in the back, is that we are working intensively with school nutrition, specifically K through 12 school nutrition programs here in Maine. Maine has an amazing supportive rebate program for school nutrition directors that want to source local products, and they are mandated to use local grains. So it's a perfect fit where kids love pizza anyway. And we are in school nutrition kitchens about 4 days a week, providing technical instruction and pizza demos to get people using more and more local grains in school nutrition. One of the keys to our success there is actually showing up in person to provide demos. We have found that it's just the key to success when you work alongside people in their kitchen to show them that it's not scary to switch from a boxed, highly refined white product to a local grain. We found that some of the kid pleasers are actually this really small dough ball that we make that's a 3-ounce size, and we demonstrate how to make a variety of these little pizza rolls or breakfast rolls. The other brand new product that we are able to produce now with a new piece of machinery at the Good Crust is pre-stretched pizza rounds, something that school nutrition directors had been asking us for in order to meet the labor demand or their labor crunches for dough stretching. And so now we are producing the first ever pre-stretched pizza dough round utilizing only local grains. And this is a whole grain product, but kids do not know it. So one of the things that we love to talk about is that not only is pizza a job creator, pizza is a vehicle for supporting our regional grain economy, but it's also a platform for collaboration and networking with each other. I really do have a vision that it is possible. I'm a homestead gardener myself. It is possible to grow your own pizza or to execute a farm-to-pizza program. And I'm excited to be here at the Ag Trade Show because there are so many different value-added producers that we can link with to make an impact. We can link with marinara folks. And actually, if you sample some of the garlic breads in the back, we do have warm marinara that is a version that I have converted into a pizza sauce that was a Maine marinara base. So that pizza is tomatoes grown here in Maine. We have the broccoli project, so it would be easy to come up with like a broccoli calzone project where the broccoli was grown here in Aroostook County. We certainly are going to be followed by the Maine Cheese Guild, where the possibility exists to be highlighting how delicious local ricotta might be. There are so many avenues for collaboration here in this space with pizza as the platform and all of our favorite flatbread.
It's the best pizza I ever made.
With that, I'm totally happy to have a more casual conversation or answer any questions you might have, and definitely want to encourage you to visit Nick in the back for a sample. Okay. We have a question. How do we get our community's local craft brewery and pizza program on the pizza list? All you have to do is visit the Maine Craft Pizza website and send an email to Tristan Noyes, who is the director of the Maine Grain Alliance, and he will make sure that you're on the map. It does not cost anything. Oh, yes. Say your question again. Yeah. Oh, Tristan, we're in touch. Oh. Oh, yes, have him contact me. Yeah. Any other questions? Well, thank you all so much for your attention. Thank you for listening.